Hello and welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever excitable Adam, but you already knew that if you're here. I'm unboxing the Shadows of Brimstone Trederran Strike Team expansion. What's in the box? Yeah, I had to track this down because I did not get this at the Kickstarter. So after exchanging some games, I was able to use those funds to get this Trederran Strike Team expansion, which is basically the Kickstarter exclusive one. You can't get this anywhere else. And I don't think you'll ever be able to get this anywhere else. So let's take a look at, see what we've got in this really. Well, first of all, lovely artwork. Yeah, I own the Trederran Otherworld. I've never played it. Yeah, so there's that, I guess. Now I'll have a chance to play that because I've got some more reason to go there, I guess. In a world that has fallen under the shadow of the darkness, unending war has become a way of life. Tainted by the corrupting power of the Darkstone, the alien planet of Trederran has spent centuries creating and refining weapons of war and training its soldiers to fight for survival. As the great Darkstone wars rage across their planet, the feared strike teams of each nation are deployed as special forces sent out on the most dangerous Black Ops missions. Whether venturing deep into enemy territory or establishing a foothold in a foreign world, the Trederran strike team always gets the job done. For the glory of Trederran, we fight! The Trederran Strike Team expansion lets players take on the role of these deadly alien soldiers in an 8-part story campaign and beyond. For the first time, you can play as a themed group of anti-heroes that are not from Earth. As a group of team heroes, this set also includes a full set of Trederran team ability decks for each of the nations of Trederran, as well as a fully realised Trederran camp to visit between adventures, growing and customising over the course of your campaign. So, we've got 5 different models in here. They become they're supplied, but they're unassembled and unpainted, but we already knew that going into this. We're going to get a full colour 44-page adventure book, 5 plastic Trederran Strike Team heroes, 4 double-sided hero character sheets, 1 enemy record sheet, 7 medium Trederran ally cards, 7 extra large Trederran camp cards, 8 starting upgrade cards, 13 starting gear cards, 6 Trederran personal item cards, 6 Trederran faction cards, 36 Trederran team ability cards, 6 strike team weapons of war cards, 9 threat cards / 1 Trederran Otherworld threat card, 5 reference cards, and a large assortment of die cut counters. And just for the first time notice, this has got an age rating of 15 plus. I disagree. You could play this with 10-year-olds plus, maybe even younger. Okay, so there is our weighty adventure book. So this will have, I imagine this is exactly like the Shadows of Brimstone adventure kind of books that they've got here. So it tells us all about our all the different markers we're getting here. Getting a flame template, that's cool. And then we have the backstory for Trederran, which is fantastic because I've read a little bit of the Trederran Otherworld book, and it goes into some of the details. But this looks like it's going into a bit more detail about each of the each of the areas here, which is fantastic. And lots of images I'm seeing of them on the derelict ship, which is giving me ideas of what we can do here. So it takes you through the Trederran Strike Team heroes, each of the 4 different hero classes you have in here. We've got some new rules, Weapon of Wars, Shatter Grenades, the Piranha Chain Blade, that sounds fantastic. Radiation Markers, Toxic Gas Cards, these I'm familiar with from just opening the Trederran Otherworld, but like I said, I've never played with it. We've got the story campaign here. So this is the main bit here, where we've got 8 missions here. Darkstone Raid, New Foothold, Gas Warfare, Lost Signal, Scorched Earth, we've got a bit of stickiness here, Cut Off, Wet Works, and Delivering Doomsday. And then beyond the story campaign, we have the 6 missions that you get in the basic game of Shadows of Brimstone from one of the core sets. And we also have some bonus tank missions. This set includes 2 bonus missions for use with the Trederran Mark II Lightning Scout Tank Exascale Deluxe Enemy Pack. These bonus missions are not part of the story campaign proper, but can be mixed in as you see fit or added as an extra mission after the story campaign is sorted. Now, I so happened to have managed to wangle myself a copy of the actual tank. So we've got an additional two kind of missions here. Now that looks so cool. I think that's pretty much decided where I'm going to set my my kind of venture, because you have to choose 2 different worlds. So maybe one of the worlds is going to be the derelict ship. Maybe the other one's Trederran, I don't know. So we talk about the expedition camp here. Allies. Now what's pretty cool about the allies is, as I have all the Trederran stuff that's currently out, including the Trederran Raiders, is it? I can use them as allies in this game, apparently. Leveling up your heroes. And then we've got our specifics. Now actually have a look at these guys. So the Sergeant, he's a natural leader for the team, handing out extra strike markers each turn and leading from the front to cut down enemies with pistol and saber. They can specialize in hack and slash to gain extra attacks, or tactical leadership to mark enemies as targets for the group. Then the Legionnaire, a veteran soldier from the trenches. The Legionnaire is loaded down with gear and weapons to get the job done. They can specialize in Black Ops to get rerolls and extra team ability cards, or demolitions to become an expert with explosives. Trederran Engineer. The Engineer uses tech to assist the team, focusing less on direct combat and more on stealth, navigation and skill tests. They can specialize in being a genius to reroll skill tests and gain strikes from clues, or an excavator to master scavenging. Trederran Specialist. Heavily armoured and trained in the use of exotic weaponry, the Specialist can bring an array of different weapons of war to the mission. They can specialise in being a master of arms to swap around the weapons of war during a mission, or a heavy hitter to focus on optimising their strike markers. Strike markers being a new thing in this. Trainer heroes use special ability tokens called Strike. Let's see what they actually do, guys. So Strike ability tokens. Trederran soldiers are well known for being deadly warriors on the battlefield. As special forces, the elite strike teams of Trederran are highly trained in all manner of combat operations. To represent this, Trederran heroes use strike tokens. Strike tokens can be used for a wide variety of different tactical options, giving the strike team a great level of diversity during the missions in the field. Any number of strike may be used during a turn on the following. So 1 strike, you prevent a wound or sanity damage. 1 strike, gain +2 move this turn. 2 strikes, roll 1 extra die in a skill test. And 2 strike, reroll one of your to hit rolls, even if already rerolled. So that is pretty cool. I'm enjoying that. So let's see what the bottom things are in here. They're pretty cool. Pathfinder, when you draw a map card for looking through a door, you may use 3 strike to draw an extra card, then choose which to use. You may scavenge map tiles up to 3 extra times each. Weapons Master, range to hit 3+. All of your gun, well, that's great. All of your gun and hand weapon items have 1 extra upgrade slot. Weapon of War have 1 extra tech upgrade slot. Death Strike, use 3 strike to make one of your hits ignore a target's armor and endurance abilities. Wow, that's pretty good. Once per turn, use 3 strike to add +3 damage to one of your critical hits. That is fantastic. Overwhelm, once per fight, use 2 grit to give all heroes +1 combat and +1 shot with a gun during their next activation. The start of each turn during a fight, recover 1 grit. Then we have our Trederran Camp Daily Events chart. And then we've got our character sheets, which I'm just going to either photocopy or print online. And we have our campaign log there. And then we've got the Nations of Trederran. So I actually got one of my friends, Andy Calvert, to basically paint up the Trederran Raiders. And he painted 4 of them up in the Republic of Tarkon. So I don't know whether all of my Trederran stuff should be in Tarkon, but these guys aren't. I don't know if there's a particular faction that would be best to play this with. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a look at the different factions' abilities and decide from there. But at the moment, I'm thinking I'm going to paint these guys as the Tarkon, who are essentially space Nazis, I believe. And these will be the kind of characters we'll be using for all of it. I don't know. What is interesting, though, is you can actually choose different factions to represent each of your guys. So you can have like some desperate kind of strike team formed by these different factions together. It does have a penalty to the amount of strike tokens you can have, but maybe that'd be more interesting to watch, or plot-wise, I don't know. So what do we got here? We got some bandages, we got some whiskey, some shatter grenades, some tonics, some stuns, some shootouts, some radiation, some sandbags, some minefield signs maybe. Oh no, they've got like a 3-eyed skull on there, which I believe the Trederrans have 3 eyes. Poison markers, because I haven't got enough of those already. Then our strike tokens. We've got some gas clouds. We've got tokens for our different characters. Anti-raid and flash kind of grenades. We've got this depth tracker, I guess. We've got unconscious Trederrans there. Then we've got some allied tokens here. Now, as far as I'm aware, I actually have all of these in miniature format. We've got War Depot and Command Post for our Expedition Camp, Revive tokens, some Flame, and some upgrades. Okay, so miniature-wise, we've just got 5 minis in here. Shouldn't take me too long to assemble this. And honestly, guys, I'm probably going to solo this. I'm going to create four guys for our strike team. I will try and solo this on the channel because, yeah, I feel like this would be quite a good one to do. I don't need other people to play it with. I can see how it gets on with solo. But if you guys want to see me solo this, let me know. If you'd rather me play this with a group of people, it'll take longer to get up on the channel. But yeah, happy to do whatever you'd like to see, guys. I apologise for the lighting in this room because, yeah, it's really shining off the rulebook there. So, got strike markers, rule reference, anti-rad tokens, shatter tokens, what they do. So basically all your kind of player aids to just give you an idea of what these different things do. Just realised the gas has green on the other side for the toxic clouds. Rad grenades. Grenade launcher shells. Okay, we have another world threat for Trederran. It's Trederran strike team. So yeah, my guys could come into to fight off, yeah, some of the heroes. Let's say the Vikings, for instance, go to Trederran. They could pull out this, and then they might have to face my Trederran strike team. That would be pretty interesting. We have threats for the strike team as well. So you know what, this will be pretty cool. Maybe I'll film this adjacent to our Viking thing. Add these into the threat deck for the Vikings and just see how they do against the strike team. We've got strike team weapons of war. So we have a DSC-4 light machine gun, range 12, shots 3. Once per turn, use 2 strike before rolling to hit to fire a burst. Till the end of the turn, each hit with the gun counts as 2 hits. Oh, that's pretty good. And we've got some tech upgrade slots there. Mark 3 grenade launcher, range 15, shots, start. Before firing, choose a target space and shell type to launch. Blast, piercer, or smoke. Roll once to hit, no critical hits. Missed to hit rolls, bounce D3 spaces in a single random direction. The Piranha Chain Blade, +1 combat. Your combat hits use the D8 for damage and ignore armor. Your combat critical hits are also +1 damage. Your missed combat hits bounce once centered on your space, automatically hitting any model in the new space. So don't stand next to this guy when he's using this. K2 Dragon Fire Thrower. It's got to be unlocked in the camp to use this, as has these other ones here. Starts with 4 fuel tokens, discard a fuel token to fire. Range 3, shots 1, rolls 2d6 for damage and ignores cover. X92 Shield Generator. Once per fight, give all heroes a cover 4+ save until the end of the turn. You may use 2 dark stones to ready this item during a fight. If you do, roll a d6. No grit. On the roll of 1 or 2, the generator overloads and may not be used for the rest of this adventure. Then an XR5 comm unit. Once per turn, use 2 strike to cancel a darkness or grown dead card on the d6 roll of 4+. That's pretty handy. Okay, we have our ally cards now. So what we got? Trench Soldier, fire support. Discard this Trench Soldier to do one of the following. Add +2 damage to a single hero ranged hit. Prevent d6 wounds or d6 sanity damage to a hero from a single source. Reroll one of the dice on a hold back the darkness roll. That is not a depth event. Once per turn. So that's the basic thing. But you know what? We're just going to turn all these guys over to the advanced side because that's what we're going to be playing with. So yeah, this is what he looks like. I'm not going to go over all this stuff, but yeah, interesting. We've got trench mutants. We've got the raider upgrades and mutations. We've got the raider. Z4 grenadier mutations. And there's our Z4 grenadier. Trench soldier mutation and upgrades. And there's our trench soldier. And we have a trench mutant as well. Which I guess he's not going to mutate because he's already pretty much gone. Do you know what, guys? I forgot we had all these cards left to do. So let's see. So the Royal Foundry, their cards here. Darkstone Wars at the start of a turn until the end of turn. Every hero may collect 1 Darkstone whenever any enemy is killed on their map tile, or D3 Darkstone if the enemy was large, size, or bigger. Play at the start of the turn. So that's Darkstone Wars again, so the same thing. We've got Basilisk Launchers. Play at any time during their next activation. Every Royal Foundry hero gains the following. Free attack, explosive. Place up to 3 of your Darkstone in any one space within range 3 and line of sight. Then these Darkstone each bounce D3 plus -1 times and explode, doing 3 wounds, ignoring defense to any models in the same and adjacent space. Tainted Flesh, play at any time. Every hero immediately gains strike markers equal to the number of mutations they have. If a hero has no mutations, they may recover a grit instead. Covering Fire, play any time. All heroes within line of sight to at least one other Royal Foundry hero gains cover 4 until the end of the turn. Then we have the Liberation Army. Cunning Ambush, get 2 of these. Play the start of fight. Every hero may immediately move D6 spaces, moving through other models and ignoring escape tests. Until the end of the turn, all heroes are +2 initiative, or +3 if a Liberation Army hero. For Shalzari. Play the start of the turn until the next time the darkness marker moves into a new stage of the depth track. Whenever a depth event is rolled, every Trederran hero gains 2 strike. Hit and run. Play at the start of a turn until the next time the darkness marker moves into a new stage of the depth track or onto the darkness start space. Whenever a hold back the darkness roll is passed, move the darkness marker back 1 space in the depth track, ignoring any blood splatter or growing dread space moved over. Warrior of the Swords. Play any time. During the next activation, whenever each Liberation Army hero assigns 1 or more hits to a target, the target takes 1 additional hit of the same type. Admit 1 extra hit per target during an attack. If a critical hit was assigned, this additional hit is also a critical hit. Cool. Then we have the Shintaro Core. We have No Mercy, 2 of these. Play when an enemy model is killed. All other enemies within 2 spaces of it take D3 wounds, ignoring defense, but no XP is gained from these wounds. Oh, that's pretty good. Birthright. All Shintaro Core heroes gain +5 XP from loot scavenge cards, while other heroes get -5 XP from loot scavenge cards. Once per turn, when a Darkness or Growing Dread card is drawn, a Shintaro Core hero may spend 2 strike to cancel it on a D6 roll of 4 or more. Dragon Charge. Until the end of the turn, all Shintaro Core heroes gain +1 combat, +6 move, and may move through other models, ignoring escape tests. Honor in Victory. Every hero gains +50 XP and may remove D3 Corruption. Okay, Republic of Tarkon now, which is probably what I'm going to go for paint scheme wise. All Republic heroes may reroll their damage rolls during the next activation. So they're Terror Troops, you get 2 of those. Ruthless. Until the end of the turn, that hero may use play at any time on a Republic hero. Till the end of the turn, that hero may use 2 strike to ignore a target's defense for 1 of their hits. This may be done multiple times. Firing Squad. Until the end of the turn, every Trederran hero gains +1 shot with a gun for each other Trederran hero within 2 spaces of them. And Sinister Discipline. Once per turn, during their activation, each Trederran hero may transfer up to 2 sanity damage from themselves to this card. At the end of any turn, if there are 10 or more sanity damage here, discard this card. Wow, that is pretty cool. We're going up against sanity stuff. That would be really helpful. Okay, we've got the Confederacy, spelled with a K. Hold back the darkness roll would be failed, or add +X to the result where X is the number of heroes in the hero party. That's pretty helpful, strength in numbers. Rise up, choose a Kakarus Confederacy hero that is knocked out to immediately recover without rolling for injury madness. That hero also gains D3 strike. The Elevated Man. Choose a Kakarus Confederacy hero to add any one of their skills to another skill for 1 skill test. They must also describe how they are using this in addition, using the additional chosen skill to enhance the test they're making, or until the end of the turn, all heroes may roll 1 extra die on skill tests. Play any time until the end of the turn, all Trederran allies are +2 shots and +2 combat, or roll a d6 for each darkness card that remains in play and each growing dread card in the stack. On the roll of 5 or more, discard it. Man, I'm enjoying that particular set of abilities. Next, we have the Union. the stripes and strike. Play when an enemy model is killed. All heroes recover 1 strike and 1 grit. Or 2 strike and 1 grit instead for Union heroes. Limit 1 the stripes and strike per turn because we have 2 of those. War effect, play at the start of a turn. Every hero immediately gains 1 starting side bag token of their choice. That's good. Or 2 side bag tokens if the hero party marker is at the center stage or lower of the depth track. Battle lines. Play at any time. Immediately make 3 Hold Back the Darkness rolls for each roll. If failed, or depth event, no effect. If passed, move the darkness marker back 1 space on the depth track, ignoring any blood splatter or grey dread. Space is moved over, and each hero gains 1 strike. Taking the initiative. While you have this team ability, all Union heroes are +1 initiative. Discard at the start of any turn to give all heroes +2 initiative and allow them to activate before enemies at their initiative level until the end of the turn. And then we actually have some more, which are just Trederran general ones. So we've got special forces. Every Trederran hero gains D3 strike. Take cover, prevent D6 wounds that a single hero is about to take, or allow all heroes to reroll any cover saves they have until the end of the turn. Regroup, play at the end of any turn to choose 1 Trederran hero to rally around. Will you place all other heroes in empty spaces adjacent to the chosen Trederran, if possible, and each hero may heal wounds/sanity, any mix equal to the chosen Trederran's lore value. At any cost, while you have this team ability, whenever the hero party marker moves onto a growing dread space of the depth track, place D3 grit here. Whenever the hero party marker moves onto a blood splatter space of the depth track, place D6 strike here. Discard this card at any time to divide the grit and strike here between the heroes as you see fit. Once this card has been discarded, all failure results for this mission are doubled if this mission is failed. That is pretty cool. And then Recon, play at the start of the turn. Until the next time the darkness moves onto a blood splatter or growing dread space of the depth track, Trederran heroes recover grit on move rolls of 1 or 2, and whenever they look through a door. And then we have our factions. So the Union. The Union in Trederran districts was once a democratic state run by the people with an interest in global commerce and basic freedoms for all Trederran. They were the last to join the war. Though their mission still stands as a global peacekeeper, 100 years of war has taken its toll and they now fight bitterly just to survive. Supply lines, once per turn, spend 4 strike to gain 1 starting side bag token of your choice, and higher ideals. Whenever you would take a corruption point, prevent it on the D6 roll of 5 or more. The Royal Foundry. The first faction to develop Darkstone technology, the Royal Foundry did not realise the dangers involved. Through accidents and meltdowns, their country has become a polluted and toxic wasteland, home to more mutants than any other nation. Radiation contamination, you're -2 corruption resistance, but a +1 max strike for each mutation you currently have. Refined technology, once per fight to use 1 Darkstone to add +2 damage to 1 of your hits, or to gain 2 strike. The Carcarcus Confederacy. After overthrowing their monarchy, the Confederacy of United Workers created the Carcarus Accord to ensure their future as a people's nation. Though they do not share the same level of training as other factions, their numbers are legion. Revolutionary. Whenever a depth event is rolled, gain strike equal to the number of the depth event. Untested, you are -1 max strike, and fighting resolve, the hero party gets 1 extra revive token usable only by Carcarcus Confederacy heroes. The Liberation Army. The Hariban Liberation Army is all that remains of a once proud nation, overrun and obliterated during the long years of war. These nomadic fighters now employ hit-and-run guerrilla tactics, operating on a campaign of fanatical violence. You gain keyword fanatic once per fight, add up to 2 strike to 1 of your gun hits, or up to 3 strike to a combat hit. For each strike used, take 1 wound that cannot be prevented, and add +2 damage to that hit. Will to fight. At the end of every successful adventure, gain 1 sanity. At the end of any failed adventure, lose 2 sanity permanently. Ugh. Toxic bombs. All of your shatter grenades are toxic charges. Shintaro Corps. The Shintaro Corps is an aggressive empire that believes it is their destiny to rule, employing harsh methods and brutal weapons. The Corps is one of the youngest nations built on the ashes of an ancient empire. They are steeped in tradition and aim to reclaim the glory of their ancestral birthright. Ceremonious Strike Team Armor, Armor 5+. Overzealous, it costs you 2 strike to prevent a wound sanity instead of 1. Brutal weapons, all your shatter grenades are rad grenades. That's rad, man. Finally, the Republic of Tarkon, a strict authoritarian regime. The Republic of Tarkon rules over its people with an iron fist, a fist used to mercilessly crush all who stand in their way, from outside and from within. They are known for their highly trained and ruthlessly efficient terror troops. All of your attacks are +1 damage. You count as one hero level higher than normal for determining the hero party level at the start of the adventure. This is used to determine if enemies get elite abilities or brutal side. Oof. Okay, then we have some personal items. Worn ammo bag. Once per turn, you may reroll a single to hit roll for a ranged attack. Father's combat knife, +2 sanity, free attack once per adventure, do d6 wounds to an adjacent model, ignore defense and armor. Tag chain, +3 health, you may prevent any status effect marker you would gain on the d6 roll of 4 or more. Varn critter, +1 luck, once per turn, you may reroll a single defense roll, and you've got to name your pet. Tarnished key, +1 law, once per turn. When a Grown Dread card is drawn, you may recover a grit and 1 ability token. And the Declaration of Nations, +2 corruption and resistance, +1 max grit. Known as the Honest Green Book, this is the founding code for the Trederran International Rules of Engagement. Though often now viewed as a relic of a more civilized age, still holds meaning to some who hope for a brighter future. And our starting equipment, we have a field lamp. Strike team helmets, +2 corruption resistance. Whenever you kill an enemy, gain a strike. Commander's gas mask, +1 corruption resistance. At the start of each turn, choose a trainer hero to gain a strike marker. And a stealth hood, +1 corruption resistance. You automatically pass escape tests and may move through other models. Enemies prioritize you last when selecting a target. T16 field pistol, range 4 shots 2. Arc light pistol, range 8 shots 1. Use the peril +1 for damage. Any enemy wounded by this gun gains a stun marker. A V-Wave scanner, once per turn, use 2 strike markers to draw an exploration token and place it face up next to an unexplored door or gate on your map. Tile. Limit 1 per door gate and gain 10 XP. Use this exploration token instead of drawing one for the next room through that door gate. If a passage is drawn through that door before a room, place a token back at the bottom of the stack as a false reading. We have the Mark III trench pistol, range 5 shots 2. This gun may not get critical hits. Every hit assigned to a target counts as 2 hits or 3 hits if a 6+ to hit. We have the Sergeant Saber. You may add +1 damage to any of your hits on adjacent enemies. This includes your hits from range attacks. Trederran Longcoat, which gives you 3 health. T80 DS Carbine, range 9 shots 1. Use a D8 for damage. Use 1 strike to gain +1 shot until the end of the turn. A Pathfinder Harness. Start each adventure with any 2 free sidebat tokens chosen from the following. Nice. And that's all of our starting gear. Then we have our starting upgrades. So the specialist can either be a heavy hitter or master at arms. The heavy hitter, start of each adventure, choose 1 strike team weapon or war card to bring along on the mission, +1 max strike. Start every adventure with strike markers equal to your max strike. And then specialist master at arms, use the general specialist version. Blah, blah, blah. At the start of each adventure, choose 1 strike team weapon or war card to bring along on each mission, and use 1 grit at the start of your activation to swap to a different strike team weapon or war card. That's really interesting because one of those gives you a bit more flexibility with weapons, but the other one gives you a lot more, like your strikes. You're going to be using that a lot more. Next, the engineer, genius and an excavator. So you may roll 1 extra die when scavenging. Once per turn, when you successfully scavenge, gain a strike. And engineer genius, when rolling any skill test, you may reroll 1 of the dice, even if it's already been rerolled. Whenever a clue is found, gain D3 strike. Okay, so far, I'm thinking a master at arms and a genius. Let's go to our legionnaire. Black ops and demolitions. Demolitions, free attack once per fight. Throw an explosive sidebat token, such as a shatter grenade. Once per turn, you may reroll a single damage roll for an explosion you have thrown. And Black ops, once per turn, you may reroll 1 of your to hit rolls. Whenever the hero party marker crosses a new stage of the depth track, draw a Trederran team ability card to add to the pool. So we've got a Black Ops character. Finally, the Sergeant. We have tagging an enemy at the start of each turn during a fight. You may use 1 strike to place that strike marker on an enemy model. And to the end of the turn, heroes are +1 damage on all their attacks against that enemy model. And each hero may reroll a single defense or willpower roll against a hit/horror hit from that enemy model. Okay, so you're just kind of like choosing somebody. And then hack and slash, +1 max fight. Once per fight, use 4 strike to make a melee attack in addition to a ranged attack. I think we're going to go for a tactical leadership there. That's going to be our team. We've got... That's going to be it, guys. That's what I'm going to make my team up of. Tactical leadership, Black Ops, Genius, and Master Arms. And then we have our Trederran Strike Team enemy card, which this is what the kind of Vikings or whoever also playing against is going to come across. So Black Ops, immune to status effect markers, Darkstone guns, free range attack, the end of move, each model fires at a random hero. Strike tactics, at the start of this enemy group's activation, roll d6 to see what bonus they get this turn. Strike accuracy, strike team to hit rolls of 5 plus ignore defense. Shatter grenades, each strike team model throws a shatter grenade at a random hero within 4 spaces. Same as the hero sidebag token. Deadly weapons, all of this enemy's attacks are +2 damage this turn. Jammers, heroes cannot use grit until the start of the enemy's next activation. Shield generator, these enemies have cover 3+ until the start of the next activation. They've got 5 defense, 7 health. They've got 4 combat, 3 defense, range 3+, melee 4+. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Okay, so we have our Trederran Engineer. Our Legionnaire, our Sergeant, and our Specialist. Yeah, they all look pretty good. And on the other side, we've got a female Sergeant there. But there isn't an alternate model for these guys, so they are essentially the same on both sides, I think. Yeah. Right, so we have our assembly guide there. Can you get it out? Is it actually part of the... It's actually part of the board, Adam. You can't get it out. Show on camp. It's got all these stuff there. And we've got some additional stuff here for the different factions. We have our actual Trederran camp itself. And a nice little image there. That's pretty cool. Field hospital. Expedition supplies. Campfire. War depot. Command post. And I didn't see any injury or madness chart in here. Do I just use the one? I guess you're just using the one for the world you're going for, right? Because depending which world you're on, you're going to have different depth event. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense why you wouldn't have that. But injury and madness, well, I guess that'd be on the side. Okay, well, anyway, that's everything you get inside the Trederran Strike Team expansion. If you guys have a preferred nation you'd like me to play as, if you'd like me to do a combination, whatever you think would be more interesting, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, we will get this to the table in the not too distant future. I've only got to assemble 4 miniatures for this really, and paint those guys up. So when I'm filming around Christmas time, I might even have these guys turn up to face off against our Vikings as a nice little kind of like a nice little surprise attack, which hopefully they won't know about because they don't tend to watch these videos, only stuff that they're in. Okay, so if you'd like to see more of this, then stay tuned to the channel. We're churning out Brimstone stuff pretty much every other week really at the moment. It's one of my favourite games, and I'm just loving that I'm getting to the table so much, and I'm loving your reaction, guys. Everyone seems to be really happy with how these videos are going. So yeah, I'll keep making it as long as you guys keep enjoying it and I keep enjoying it. I've been the ever excitable Adam. Please tell your friends about the channel, share and like wherever you can. Tell the frogs to send me free stuff so I can film things for you. And yeah, if you are in the UK and you fancy playing some of this with me, I do have some promotional cards that the frogs did send me that I will be bringing in March to Aircon. So that's in Manchester in March. If you're there, I'm going to be bringing along some Shadows of Brimstone stuff. We're going to be setting up some custom-made adventures maybe, or maybe I'll just choose something from the books. But yeah, you can play with me, you can play with Alex, and we will basically, and any other die rollers who might turn up, and yeah, we will basically play some of these missions, and you can have a go for yourself. Anyway, I've been the ever excitable Adam. Until next time, guys, make sure you stay safe or die rolling.